Welcome to the Beyond Social Media Show. This is episode number 80, a nice round number. We are recording on, what is the date today? January 24th.
24th.
Saturday, January 24th. Recording live on YouTube. You can watch us at BeyondSocialMediaShow.com and find the weekly episode and watch live every week. We archive it on YouTube as well, and we're on iTunes at BeyondSocialMediaShow.com/iTunes. You can find us there, or on Stitcher at BeyondSocialMediaShow.com/Stitcher. I am David Erickson, your co-host. You can find me at DErickson on Twitter. My blog is e-strategyblog.com. I'm with my co-host as well, BL Ochman. BL you can find at What's Next on Twitter. Her blog is what'snextblog.com. She is the CEO of maximum-plus.com. You can hire her for all things Google Plus there, and of course she writes for Ad Age as well. Every week we start with the worst thing that happened in online communications. We follow that up with some good stuff that happened, some of the best stuff that happened in online communications. We talk about some shiny new objects we found, and we wrap it up with some stats. You'll want to know. BL always has the honors. BL, what was the worst thing that happened last week?
Well, good morning. You know I'm here because you hear sirens in the background because I'm in Manhattan. Well, I don't know if this was the worst thing that happened, but it was kind of the worst thing that happened to me. And then, I used to have a business called Rent-A-Fetch. And so I'm pretty good at complaining. I used to complain for other people, and like most people, I kind of suck at complaining for myself. But I subscribed to a wonderful magazine called The Week. And I restarted my subscription, renewed my subscription, and bought my friend a subscription in December. And here we are, middle of January. I've yet to get an issue this year. So last week I called them up. I said, "Where's my magazine?" They said, "You only have a digital subscription." I said, "I renewed a print subscription." "Oh, well, I don't know if we can change that now." So 2 supervisors later, he was able to change it. And then I still don't get the magazine this week, so I call up, and the 4th person that I spoke to, who was the supervisor's supervisor, said the magic words to me, "I'm as high as you can go in this company." And I said, "I don't really think so, mister. I'm as high as you can go." So I then took to social media, and I also emailed the publisher in London, and I tweeted, and I I put it on Facebook, I put it on LinkedIn, I put it on Google+, and less than 1 hour later, and the reason that I was so pissed was because they told me that I can no longer get home delivery because I'm off the list for home delivery. And I said, well, whoever took me off the list should be able to put me on the list, right? Like a person took me off. Can a person put me on? Oh, no, that's not possible. I'm like, really? Well, I think maybe it is. So within an hour, it became possible. And I just want to say that social media is indeed powerful.
Yeah, you can't be put on a list that you were on before. It's a list.
It's a list. I was
Come
taken
on.
off the list, and I can't be put back on the list because I'm off the list. Does that make any sense? And I said to the guy, "Does that make any sense to you? Because really, that does not make any sense to me." He said, "Well, that's just the way that it is." And I said, "Well, who do you report to?" And he said, "There is no one higher than me here."
Yeah, those are a couple of very bad answers for a customer support person to
But
say
the only
when.
answer is, "I'm sorry you have that problem. Let's take care of it right now." There is no other answer.
Yeah.
So, I got to use my fetch tools. There was a certain amount of satisfaction in it. So the other thing that I think is kind of awful is, I'm not fond, as you know, of Facebook as a social platform, and the advent of videos on Facebook is, I find, distracting and annoying and too small. And so now they're saying that their numbers of people watching videos on Facebook are actually catching up to and will exceed those on YouTube. Except when we watch videos on YouTube, it's because we want to, not because they were forced into any stream that we were watching. And I believe that Facebook is cooking the books and that they're counting when a video plays as opposed to when somebody chooses to watch it. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, but I think they're full of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty skeptical about that as well. I mean, there's a lot of ambiguity in the numbers, not just Facebook's numbers, but when video ad networks, when you buy video advertising and place it on sites like you used to do with banner ads. I see a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of videos playing autoplay at the bottom of the page, and I don't know where that sound is coming from on
Right,
this page.
exactly.
And I never watched the video, so you do have to watch those numbers and see exactly what they mean.
Well, I don't know what the point of saying that they are bigger than they are would be, other than to try and attract advertising dollars. And I don't know, when was the last time you bought something because of an ad on Facebook? So I just want to say that I thought that we had Comment Tracker working, and it looked like it was working, but it's not. Frustrating. So we're not going to actually see. Oh, there are some of them. They're not coming through, and so I'm going to give up. Dave, what'd you find this week? I know it's got to do with football.
Yeah, well, we both found this, and you were gracious enough to give it to me, so so I will go with it. At the close of the last show, we said, what did we say? We said, Martin Luther King holiday is coming up. Brands, don't do anything stupid. And lo and behold, the Seattle Seahawks clearly didn't watch the show and didn't listen to us because they went and did something stupid.
Stupid.
On Martin Luther King holiday, they posted a image on their Twitter account of Russell Wilson weeping, their quarterback, weeping for his interview after they won the championship game against the Green Bay Packers, the hated Green Bay Packers, and and posted that with a quote by Martin Luther King that says, "Faith, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." Martin Luther King and Russell Wilson, it should be pointed out, his great-great-grandfather was a slave to a colonel in the Confederate Army who was freed only after the Civil War. Twitter users, there was a backlash, obviously, people calling it tasteless, disgusting, most offensive tweet in sports history. Look, I don't know that it's tremendously offensive. We've seen racist tweets. We've seen tweets that were clearly intended to be racist. We've seen tweets that were racist as a result of ignorance. This is not racist. It is ignorant. It is tone deaf. And it was, in a profession where most of the people who make most of the money for the league are African American. Come on, have some sense of proportionality, and don't equate a football struggle with the struggle for civil rights.
I know, I found that mind-blowing, but I thought the best response on Twitter was the one that said Martin Luther King Day should be renamed Intern Firing Day, because undoubtedly it'll get blamed on an intern.
Yeah, exactly, and I think this is also a thing that I've talked about, over the course of our many podcasts, the discrepancy in the number of people of color who are in the communications profession. This is largely, advertising, public relations, largely very white and very male-dominated still, and at least at the top levels. And this sort of seems like probably a young white person did this tweet.
It's sort of hard to know, if it was just a sort of clueless person.
Yeah.
I don't have any more bad news. I got lots of good news. So if you'd like to, if you have anything else that you want to cover that, rankled you, let us know.
I'm good.
Okay, well, we also really couldn't do the show without discussing the State of the Union message and its use of social media. So you've got something on that. Why don't you start?
I do. So this is a bit of a long one, but it is very interesting. So President Obama was interviewed by 3 YouTube stars after the State of the Union address. The YouTube stars are Glozell Green, Bethany Mota, and Hank Green. They interviewed in like 15-minute or 12 to 15-minute interviews. They each had a chance of interviewing the president after his State of the Union address. Now, why would the president do such a thing? to reach 16 million people who are probably not going to watch the State of the Union address. That's the combined audience of those three YouTube stars. So Glozell Green was, I thought, the most entertaining interview. She's a YouTube comedian. She wears green lipstick. She rose to fame on the strength of a cinnamon challenge video where she was challenged to eat cinnamon, and she did it, and that video got 42 million views. It is absolutely hilarious. There's a reason why it got 42 million views. She has a video on her YouTube channel of telling her mom that she's going to interview the president, and her mom's reaction is priceless. It's absolutely adorable. She has 3.3 million subscribers to her YouTube channel. And she asked some pretty good questions. She asked the president about cybersecurity, about racial profiling, about the Cuba policy, about same-sex marriage. She uploaded the video segment of her interview to her YouTube channel, and since Friday it's got 104 million views. She also, during the interview, gave some green lipstick, which is her trademark, gave some green lipstick to the president, and as she was giving the first one, she had three green lipsticks. First one, for your first wife, and then she realized what she said. Oh my God, she was mortified. It was just adorable. You got to watch it.
Well, they took questions for several days before. They took questions from their followers to what did you want to ask the president, which is what made it really so valuable and cool. And you know, their audience is young, and there was no other way you were going to reach that. And plus, the speech itself was posted on Medium, and as opposed to being posted on, you know, some more traditional site, and so that it was just the whole way the social media was handled was groundbreaking and extraordinary.
So that was the first time any White House had released the text of the speech in its entirety before the speech, so people could actually read the speech. The White House streamed live the speech live from the White House website and accompanied it with stats and figures
that were tweetable. I mean, that was the best part. They were ready to be tweeted or Facebooked, and you know, at the minute the second that they were spoken, they were available for tweets. And I've forgotten the number. It's like 3 million times that it was tweeted, right?
Yeah, yeah. So Bethany Moto was one of the other people who interviewed the president. She's a fashion, a YouTube makeup and fashion expert or whatever. Her audience is teenage girls. She's estimated to make $40,000 a month on her videos. She's leveraged her YouTube fame for a clothing line. She was on Dancing with the Stars. She was selected as one of YouTube's content creators. She's got 8.1 million subscribers on her makeup channel. She's got 2.1 million subscribers on another of her channels called Bethany's Life. In that, she posted a video before interviewing the president that she was announcing that she was going to interview the president and asking for, as you said, asking for comments. What should she ask the president? She got 8,000 comments on that video. So a lot of
comments. That's amazing. This, by the way, is why my niece wants to have her own video channel with makeup advice.
Career.
we missed our callings. You know, we really did.
Yeah. And then finally, Hank Green was the other guy who was invited to interview the president. Green is one half of the sibling team behind the Vlog Brothers. His brother John wrote a best-selling young adult novel. Their topics range from Harry Potter to Ukraine to net neutrality. They've got 2.4 million subscribers. They did a behind-the-scenes interview of the president, so following him along as he went to the White House, very interesting. That's got 171,000 views. The White House video itself, of all three YouTube videos combined, got 1.8 million views, and it's interspersed with great stats from Google about what people were searching for during the State of the Union as well. So that's worth the watch.
There is so much for brands to learn from the way that this State of the Union was handled. I mean, they were head and shoulders above all of us. Absolutely mind-bending, and you know, it's worth watching again and again and again. So I am really excited. As you know, I have curly hair, and I spent much of my youth straightening it in various ways, and only really embraced my curly hair a few years ago, and so you know, obviously everybody wants what they don't have, and people with straight hair want curly hair. But Dove, who has done such a lot of really extraordinary stuff to encourage women to be themselves, has a new campaign for curly-haired little girls, encouraging them to love their hair. And I love this campaign as a curly-haired girl, and what they do is they interview the little girls, and you know, they're of various races and ethnicities, and the little girls all say, I wish I didn't have this curly hair, you know, some days I want to tear it out of my head, and you know, it's just, I just wish that I could have straight hair. And so then what they do is they tell them to cover their eyes, and they bring them into a surprise party with all these lovely curly-haired women who are singing, I love my hair, perfect the way I am, and so are you, and they're all dancing and singing. And by the end of the video, all the little girls are showing around their hair, and they're singing, and they're dancing, and they're having a wonderful time. I love you for this, Dove.
They do. Dove does a fantastic job with video marketing, especially. I mean, they've had several examples over the past that are just very well thought out and very empathetic.
Absolutely empathetic, and absolutely not what is normal or mainstream for big beauty brands. And you know, the idea of not retouching photos, for example, showing real women and celebrating them, and you know, I just think that seeing these little girls get happy about how they look was a real treat. So tell us, Dave, what have you got?
So yeah, going on the video angle, NHL teams will be using GoPro video. GoPro is partnering with the National Hockey League to incorporate GoPro footage into their live broadcasts. It kicks off at the 2015 NHL All-Star Weekend. GoPro cameras will be actually worn by the players, so you're going to see their point of view incorporated in the live broadcast. I think it's fantastic. GoPro obviously gets a lot out of it. Just simply the demonstration of their cameras is marketing in and of itself, as we've seen in other examples from GoPro, but they also get official partner status out of that. So, so good for them, and I can't wait to see that. The other video example or video development is Amazon pilots are out. So Amazon is creating their own original content, their own original TV shows, and they've released the new round of pilots for the next season. There's 6 children's shows. They had a lot of children's shows the last round, so they're obviously going after parents with children's shows, but they also got adult shows. Salem Rogers is a show about a supermodel who tries to make a comeback after a decade in rehab. The Man in the High Castle, yeah, The Man in the High Castle is based on a Philip K. Dick novel. It's executive produced by Ridley Scott of Blade Runner fame. It's an alternate history where the Allied powers lost World War II and Germany and Japan rule America. I haven't watched it yet. It's like I'm going to watch it tonight. I can't wait. The New Yorker Presents is a docuseries. And what Amazon does, there's a handful of other ones, what Amazon does with this is so you go watch it, and they're going to measure all the metrics on your watching behavior and take your consideration, your comments and votes into consideration of whether they're going to fund the full season. So very smart, using big data to figure out what's going to be popular.
Very, very smart, and I think that's hilarious about the supermodel who's been in rehab for 10 years. I mean, come on. Okay, we can't just gloss over the NFL. Are we going to see them inflating the footballs with their GoPros? What the hell is going on with this? You're a football person. Does this matter?
I'm a partisan where this is concerned. The Patriots, proven cheaters, been caught in the past cheating, and it didn't matter for that game because they beat the Colts hands down and they crushed them. But it does matter. Deflating the footballs does matter in inclement weather. I play a lot of football, and it's much easier to grip the football when there's less air in the ball, and so it's easier to grip it and it's easier to throw it. You know, you can argue whether that makes a difference, but the rules are the rules, and the Patriots circumvented them. So,
what kind of an example is this for kids? What kind of an example is this for anybody? And you know, the press conferences, come on, you know, this is like blame it on an intern. It's going to end up being blamed on the ball boy. Now, the ball boy, being the lowly position that the ball boy is in, does not make decisions on his or her own.
The
So,
person
you
who
know,
makes
this
that
is
decision is
ugly.
Tom Brady, the
Of course it
quarterback.
is.
Complete control over how the ball is. I mean, he knows what he wants, and nobody does anything with the ball unless they get his tacit or explicit approval.
His press conference has to go down as one of the worst examples of a press conference by a public figure. You know, I mean, he was up there for half an hour saying nothing. That's a
Well,
long time to be saying nothing.
yeah, he blamed it on the process. The process. It was
I
the
don't know,
process.
but Dave, so they each kick off with their own balls, right? Once they kick off, everybody's using the ball they kicked. Is that how it works?
Each team. So the rules are. I mean, the way that they allow the teams to control the balls is the problem. The NFL should be in control of the balls all the way along, but they allow each team to have 12 footballs, and they're inspected before the game. But obviously, something happened somewhere along the way, and the balls for the Patriots got deflated, and the balls for the Colts did not. So.
Jeez. Okay, good news. I have some lovely news. If you follow the cartoon, The Oatmeal, I just think Matthew Inman is one of the most clever cartoonists and bloggers on the planet, and he's had huge success with his cartoons and his books. And now he's a creator of a Kickstarter campaign for a new game called Exploding Kittens. And they raised $3 million in 24 hours, which was actually exceeding their fundraising goal by 10,000%. And one of the ways that he boosted the support for the campaign was that he posted cartoon kittens to social media, you know, who are going to be featured in the game, as a way of thanking followers for donating. So he gave them a glimpse of what they're going to see on the game. If anybody has any doubt about the value of social media to a brand or to a product, take a look at this Kickstarter and look at how fast it developed. Cool.
I was a little surprised this wasn't in worst, BL. I thought this was going to be in worst. You like kittens, right? Exploding.
Well, it's Catterday. You know it's Catterday. We're on the internet. It's Catterday. You got to talk about cats.
It's exploding. They're kittens that are exploding.
Well, they're not real. They're cartoon kittens. But you have a point. So let's talk about dogs. There's a viral video of dogs who have graduated from an off-leash training class in Australia, and the school is Malibu Dog Training, which has an absolutely wonderful YouTube channel. And so they take, to reward the dogs who graduated from the off-leash training class, they take them all to the beach, and they film them swimming and having a great time. And going along with them is a cat. And the cat apparently was adopted from a shelter, and I think his name is Dija. I'm not sure. I've forgotten. But it was adopted from a shelter when it was about 12 weeks old, and it thinks it's a dog, and it skateboards. And it boogie boards. And so here are all these dogs on the beach, and they're having this wonderful time, and the cat is swimming along in the water. It's just one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And, you know, this guy uses social media brilliantly as well. So have a look at the video. You'll get a kick out of it, but observe how he uses Twitter and Facebook and now YouTube and now Google Plus. And we had some conversation back and forth, and he said, you know, obviously you did your research. People think he said people think he's a woman. I said, it's all right. People think I'm a man because my name's BL. No problem. So, but he responded, you know, within minutes when I tweeted about him. So he's paying attention, monitoring his brand.
Very good. You've got a fascinating, profound, and cute example. What's this possible?
Another game, which is a game that demonstrates, it's an 8-bit video game, and it demonstrates the existential philosophy of Kierkegaard, Sartre, and Camus, explained in 3-minute 8-bit video games. They are hilarious. The Kierkegaard one is, does rationality give life meaning? The Camus one is, why shouldn't we commit suicide? And the Sartre one is, do we enjoy being free? And it's just, it's hilarious. It's all these little video characters. And
if you want to make philosophy accessible,
yeah, that's it. That's it. It's as accessible. It's never been more accessible.
All right, so are we got shiny objects next?
Oh, I can't wait to get there. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us yours.
Okay. So I will get into this a little bit more in the project section, but I tried out Samsung Gear VR headset on Friday. And so it is pretty cool. It's a headset that you attach. It works with a Galaxy Note, so you attach the Galaxy Note as your screen into the headset, and the headset works with the Galaxy Note to show a virtual environment. And so what I saw was a space scene with an asteroid sort of floating by, and you move your head and you can look around, and it's a 3D environment. You actually can see the environment. The graphics are very good compared to what I saw in virtual reality in 1992, which is basically line drawing in the first Tron movie environment. So it's leaps and bounds beyond that, and it's not a big hardware thing you need to step into. It's a headset. So but it's not high definition yet. But it's pretty impressive technology, so virtual reality is on its way. The other one I found is called Invisible Boyfriend. And so Invisible Boyfriend, you can go to invisibleboyfriend.com.
Yeah.
It gives you real-world social proof you're in a relationship so you can get back to living life on your own terms. So you go to this website.
How does it do that?
You go to this website, and it helps you tell a believable story about your invisible boyfriend. It asks you a bunch of questions about how did you meet and what happened when you met and everything. And then you create an account, and you can actually have text conversations in real time with your invisible boyfriend. You can share photos and everything, so you can actually text your boyfriend and show people that you're having a conversation with a virtual boyfriend and prove to people that you're in a relationship.
The audience for that?
Single people who don't want to be bothered with the question of why aren't you with someone?
Oh, that's funny. That's very funny. That's very funny. I have found the motherlode of SEO tools and other great resources for online marketers, thanks to David Portney, and included in his list, which is, he is right, insanely large, SEO tools, site analysis tools, keyword research, conversion rate optimization. It's both insanely long and insanely useful. You are going to be so happy that we included this link. It's astounding how much detail he's gone into.
Awesome.
So
include those in the show notes.
Absolutely. So I have the most hilarious shiny new object I have ever seen in my life. It is a match set. It is the Hillary Nutcracker and the Bill Clinton Corkscrew set. And the Hillary Nutcracker, as you might imagine, she cracks the nuts between her thighs, and it will be launched on the day that she announces her candidacy, and it's from the two departments here, the You Can't Make This Stuff Up department and the Oh God, I Wish I Thought of That department, because whichever side of the fence you might be on, you'd want one of these. You know, she could be crushing Republicans, or she could be crushing Democrats. She could be, wait till you see how he opens a wine bottle. And it says on the package, which is available for $200 on Amazon right now, that this Corkscrew Bill is going to give you Pinot envy. And, I mean, it's really very clever. So the site will launch. It's called HillaryNutcracker.com, but you can buy them now or reserve them now. I'm not sure which it is, for $209 for the set. And then apparently there's already knockoffs. So this is the political tchotchke for the 2016 campaign, no matter who runs. And I don't drink, but I got to have that Bill Corkscrew.
Yeah, I don't know. $200 is pretty steep for a set of crackers. And
It'll be cheaper. It's not going to go for $200. There's no way. Maybe after the election as collector's items if you keep the box, but initially they'll be knocked off in 5 minutes. But funny?
Yeah. It is political season. So let's talk about projects. I have been mentioning that I was going to be on a video panel, and that happened this Friday. We said we'd include the video of the panel. I was on with 5 other very, very smart video marketers in town here, and some great insights to that. So we will have a link to that video panel in the show notes, along with a couple of other blog posts that I put together about video marketing. So one is a set of 12 stats that show that video marketing is in your future, and 19 examples of effective video marketing, of which one is not the Dove. I wish I would have thought of those, but the Dove examples are another great example of effective video marketing.
It really just came out this week, so I don't know if it was in time for your panel. Wasn't your panel last week?
It was on Friday.
Oh, well, it was just really coming out, so it would have been kind of hard to find. But that's very exciting, Dave, and we'll be able to watch it?
Yes.
Cool. So I think that brings us to the daily numbers.
Daily numbers. This week we have the prevalence of email subject line testing. Okay, so I don't know how many of our watchers are doing video or doing email marketing. I imagine plenty of them are, and if you are, you should be doing subject line testing to determine which subject lines are most effective at getting people to open your emails, because that is the single purpose of a subject line. So there's a survey of email marketers, and 7% say that they test all of their subject lines, and that's a small percentage, but okay. So 21% say they test most of them. 49% say they test a few, and 22% say they test none. I really think you need to be testing your subject lines regardless. Most email marketing systems allow for that, and it's pretty easy to do. I know I use MailChimp a lot, and they've got A/B testing for that very purpose. You can also test time of day. When you send it, it gets the most opens as well. So that's another thing you'd want to test. But interesting stats there. Just a helpful reminder that that's something everyone should be doing.
Well, I also think that some of the people who said they test sometimes probably don't, but they.
Good point. That would be embarrassing.
I mean, let me tell you, email drives me out of my mind, and one of the things that makes me nuts is that people don't change the subject lines when you're going back and forth in a conversation. So then you're trying to find an email that has the subject line for something you were talking about yesterday. I mean, come on. People just don't use common sense in email. And it is certainly common sense to test your subject lines and your content. And, I read this morning that people are some outrageous number, like 97% more likely to open an email that has a video in it, to read it if it has a video in it. I mean, there are many reasons for wanting to test. But anyway, that brings us to the end of episode 80 of the Beyond Social Media Show. And
before we wrap it up, we should say you should subscribe to our email newsletter.
Yes, we have an email newsletter, and you can sign up on the BeyondSocialMediaShow.com website. And you also can listen to the podcast on iTunes and also on Stitcher. And Dave, what are the links there?
BeyondSocialMediaShow.com/iTunes or BeyondSocialMediaShow.com/Stitcher. And of course, we have the email newsletter. You can get that on the subscribed to that from the site as well, and we include exclusive content. We have some nice finds that you won't find anywhere else but the email newsletter, so do subscribe to be reminded that of the podcast for every week.
And also have extra links, as Dave says, you know, things that we find during the week and things that we're not going to do on the show, but we think will amuse or entertain or inform you. And so if you're looking for us online, you will find David Erickson at D. Erickson on Twitter, at eStrategyBlog.com, at eStrategy TV on YouTube, and you will also find him, of course, on Google Plus and LinkedIn, and you will find me. I'm What's Next on Twitter. I'm plus BL Ochman on Google Plus. My blog is What's Next Blog. My company is maximum-plus.com for all things Google Plus. And the Beyond Social Media Show video from today's show will be time-stamped and on our YouTube channel and on our blog at BeyondSocialMediaShow.com. And we will be back next week with episode 81. I can't believe we're up to 81. So thank you all for watching today.
Thanks for watching.